before I introduce Daryl, I want to thank this congregation for all that we have done to support the men's shelter in our basement. I remember 15, 16 years ago when Joel Rice and a couple of other people came to speak to our church at a covered dish lunch and asked that this be allowed. And we weren't all sure whether this was going to be a good thing or a scary thing, and I'm so glad that we did go ahead and do it. And I foolishly said I would represent our church to make sure that everybody was comfortable that things would be taken care of. And I did not know that 15 years later, the men's shelter of Henderson was going to be one of the major focuses of my life. But this congregation has provided food, provided supplies, lots of money, moral support to serve people in need, people who we don't worry about whether they deserve it. We don't worry about whether it's going to change their lives. We hope it changes their lives, but there's some who come in who just would freeze to death if we didn't provide a place for them. And if they don't freeze to death, but they don't become wonderful contributors to society, that's okay. But some of the men who have come through our men's shelter have obtained education, medical help, job training, and come out on the other side. And one of our primary examples is Mr. Daryl Jones here. Daryl will tell you his story, but he was in our shelter, and then he was a volunteer, and he was so dedicated to it that we decided he was the right person to be our shelter manager, which you've done for 8 years?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years will be this year.
Okay. So I want Daryl to tell you a little bit about his story and about our plans with the new location, which we may move into Monday week.
Wow.
It's depending on inspections, of course.
Yeah.
So Daryl, take it away.
Yes, I want to piggyback off what Jane just said. I mean, my hands are out to you all, and I thank you so much, because the community is the backbone of what our mission is and what you all done for a person like myself when I was down and out and going through what I went through. You know, although, you know, most people think homelessness come from addiction, which, you know, it does, but it's a lot of other things that happen in people's lives where they become homeless. Such as myself, it was domestic with me and my first wife. That's how I became homeless. And when I became homeless, I was looking for resources because I wanted to get my life back together. At first, going through that motion, I was, you know, like, woe is me. But then I had to pull up my bootstraps, you know, and go out and find resources, because I didn't want to continue to just be self-pity, you know. So I went to a rural health clinic, met a woman named Karen Stinson. She introduced me to Recovery Innovations. I started finding resources. And then to get my mind right, you know, I went to Daymart. Through Daymart, I was going to group meetings and everything. I met my beautiful wife, Vanessa Gray Jones, that's right there, smiling and waving. And so I continued to press forward, went to vocational rehabilitation, went to another resource. With that resource, they led me to Workforce Solutions. From Workforce Solutions got me a job coach. Job coach helped me get a job at Taco Bell. In the midst of me working at Taco Bell, as I went through Recovery Innovations, from Rural Health Clinic, Recovery Innovations to the shelter, which they sent me to the shelter, and and I met Charles Turpentine, and he was telling me that they're renovating a house, which is the Hope House, and that they would, consider me of moving in the Hope House if I do everything I'm supposed to do. In the meantime, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I went through vocational rehabilitation, workforce solutions, got me a job coach, landed a job at Taco Bell. As the midst of me going through that, Community Partners of Hope, organization of few, had chosen me to be the manager of the Henderson Men's Shelter, which was presented to me from Joe Rice, that came to Taco Bell to tell me that they decided and they picked me as being a manager, along with the...
Can I interrupt just 1 minute? Daryl had been volunteering at the shelter, even though he was still living in Hope House and eventually married to Vanessa, and it was his volunteer work that made us know that he was the right person for this job.
Amen, amen. And I was so, overwhelmed with it. And, of course, I told Joel yes. Then months later, they offered me to be the house manager of the Hope House. And I was the first man that moved out of the house, Hope House. It was the success story. And, and moving forward, telling my story to men that come in the shelter, trying to encourage them, because if I can do it, they can do it, because Community Partners of Hope is like a lifeline to me, because, if you left your lights on all night on your car and then you go to crank it in the morning, it doesn't crank, you need to jump. That was Community Partners of Hope to me. It was that jump. They gave me my jump start. They believed in me. And they invested in me, and I embraced it. And like he was saying about the mustard seed, I was that seed into Community Partners of Hope. You all was the sunshine and water that watered me down and brightened up and put sun rays on me, that grew me where I flourished in this position that I am. Amen. And as we went on, Jane and Jane is a hard worker. She is a hard worker. We wouldn't went to these next steps if it wasn't for her diligency and her determination to get things done, because she is a doer. She's not all talk. She does. Her ways and actions shows. And I am so thankful and grateful to have her so we can expand what we're doing. And we need the community, because the community is the backbone to what we're doing. And without you, we couldn't do it. And we need the continuous help, because we need internship, we need mentorship, we need donations, we need financial donations, we need men to come into our men's shelter and encourage these men, where, give them that hope, because we are Community Partners of Hope. And, I am so blessed to be a part of this great organization, Community Partners of Hope. I mean, they are a pillar in this community. And we just want to keep continuing going on and, expand where we can get these men the resources that they need to eventually get their lives back together. I mean, we can't get everyone's life back together, because they have to want it. But we can lead them to these resources to help them. And then it's up to them if they want their life back in order. But, we win some, we lose some, but we keep pressing,
Tell them how the new building is going to help.
The new building is going to help. It's gonna just brighten up Men Day, and then we're going to have resources. We're going to have space where we sleep 11 down in the current shelter right now, which is in y'all basement of your church. And I thank y'all for the lovely 15 years. Because without them 15 years, it wouldn't be me here now. So it did a great work for me. And the new shelter, we'll be sleeping 16 with the overflow of up to 8 to 10 men. So that's like 24, 26 men. We have a kitchen, we'll have something sort of like day room. We can have men that come in fellowship with these men and speak to these men. We can have Bible study for those men that want to attend the Bible study. And, you know, and we have an office where we can have an internship or counselor come one-on-one and speak to a man, you know, privately, as for a nurse or some kind of physician to help these men, you know, with checkups or whatever, because, you know, a lot of homeless men don't get checked up. And we really need that too, because prostate, colon, all that, you know, they don't know how. Some men walking around with diabetes and don't even know they have diabetes. So we need to bring these resources to these men to help them and be that that source where they can come to get help. But like I said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So it's all up to them after we show them these resources. And I just love, and I'm all about love. Jesus is love. I tell everyone I love them, and I love you all. You know, I don't have no problem saying I love you, because without you and without this community, and my wife, now, I don't know where I would be when I was going through that situation. So it means the world to me. That's why I always tell people I love them. I love them because you never know when the last time you're going to tell them you love them. So Jesus is love, and I'm filled with love, and I have it all to spread out to everyone, good or bad, evil or good. I'm going to just live my life and love my life and try to live my best life. And I give it all to you all to do the same. And after when I speak all the time, I say this, I chant out that we are community partners of hope. Amen. And thank you. Amen.